Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts. And I'm excited to kick off Season 2 of our podcast series in partnership with Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. It's called We Are REC. Every week we'll release a new episode talking to different people from REC about a host of different topics. We'll get tips for saving money on your electric bill. We'll talk about renewable energy and the impact it can have in our communities. We'll get some behind-the-scenes info about what happens when the power goes out in a storm. Don't miss out on information about community grants, scholarships, REC-hosted events, and more. Get every single episode on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or on Spotify. Just do a quick search for We Are REC. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Friday as you are listening to the show today. I am going to play a couple of conversations that I had with Casey Hollins. She is the Director of Communications and Public Relations for Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. We recorded several new podcast episodes for their We Are REC podcast series, and we talked a little bit about their annual meeting that's coming up, and that's what we're going to play for you in this first segment. And then when we come back for the second segment, we're going to talk a little bit about payment options. Rappahannock Electric Cooperative has still suspended all disconnections for non-payment. So we're going to talk a little bit about how they're trying to work with their member owners to make sure that they're not in a worse position than they were when this pandemic started. So right now I'm going to share with you a conversation that I had with Casey yesterday morning about their annual meeting that is coming up in mid-August. Casey, I understand we're going to talk about the 2020 annual meeting and director elections for REC today, but before we get into the weeds on that, explain to me why REC has an annual meeting.
Rappahannock Electric Cooperative has an annual meeting every year because we're a member-owned electric cooperative, and that means that our member owners receive the benefits and the profit of being owners of the business. And so every year we are required to have this annual meeting where we share important information with our member owners, like an update on the financial condition of their cooperative, as well as provide various reports from not only our board treasurer, but also our president and CEO. And so it's one way for us to keep our members really informed and engaged with their cooperative. But most importantly, the electric cooperative is governed by a member owner board of directors. And the annual meeting every year gives our member owners an opportunity to do a couple of things. One, any member owner that's interested in serving on our board has an opportunity to run as a candidate in our director elections. And then two, all member owners have an opportunity to vote for each of the board members that are up for election during each of the annual meetings. So it's a great opportunity for our member owners to participate in the democratic process, to stay engaged with their cooperative, and to take part in the decision making.
Rappahannock Electric Cooperative covers a pretty wide territory. Can you remind me again what your service area is, and then tell me whether or not these board of directors are divvied up based on their geographical location?
We serve 22 counties, from all the way at the top of the state of Virginia in Frederick and Clark County, down through basically almost all of central Virginia, and then down to the Eastern Shore Rappahannock area. So 22 counties, and we are divided into 9 different regions, and they are geographically based. Anybody interested in seeing what those regions are could certainly go to our website, and we have a map on the website that shows all of the 9 regions and how they're geographically developed. But even though the director for that region has to reside within that region, they actually are a representative for the cooperative as a whole. And so when we talk about our regions, a lot of times people get confused and they think, like in a traditional county or state election, you can only vote for the area in which you reside. But that's not the way it works for Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. So this year, for example, the following 3 regions have elections. It's Region 4, Region 5, and Region 9. And any member living in any part of the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative Service Territory can vote for all 3 of those regions. The director themselves have to reside within that region, but again, they represent the cooperative as a whole.
So I'm guessing that because we are in the middle of a pandemic, that you're not going to hold that annual meeting the way that you've held it in previous years.
Every year prior to this year, our annual meeting has taken place in person. And so we've had member owners from all over the service territory who have joined us for an in-person event that we hold in Fredericksburg because it's really centrally located within our service territory. But this year, we're keeping the health and the safety of our member owners at the top of our priority list. And because of that, we're going to hold our first ever remote annual meeting. So we're not going to have the in-person meeting this year, but we are still making it possible for anybody who wanted to participate in the meeting when it takes place on the day of the meeting, that they'll have the opportunity to do so. So our member owners will have a couple of options. It will be broadcast through live stream. So anybody who wants to watch the annual meeting can just tune in directly from our website at 7 p.m. on August 19th, and they can watch everything as it happens live. Anybody who chooses to vote live during the annual meeting, they will have to register in order to participate. And when they register to participate, they'll receive information about how they'll be able to connect to the meeting. And in order for them to participate in the live activity is going to be through a phone. And, throughout the year, we host a couple of events every year, and they're called telephone town hall events. And they are really effective at getting a large number of our membership together. And so we're going to use that same technology to be able to allow member owners to join the annual meeting remotely. They'll hear the reports as they're given, and they'll also be able to participate and ask questions during the member comment session. And as far as their vote on the annual night of the annual meeting, if they wanted to vote during the live event, the voting process is all being done online this year. So anyone who registers for the August 19th event will receive instructions on the day of the annual meeting, giving them the login credentials that they'll need in order to access the site to vote during the meeting itself.
So that's a lot of different ways for members to be able to participate, because they could literally call in on the phone and be part of the live action while watching what's going on their screen on the website and kind of immerse themselves in the annual meeting, maybe better than they could have if they were there in person.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the reason we do that is because we know one option doesn't fit everybody. And so we wanted to provide options that, based on someone's accessibility to the internet or the convenience for them based on what they might have going on in their lives during that time of day, they have options of how they're going to connect with us. So we really hope that is going to be beneficial for our members. But prior to the participation that takes place at the annual meeting, the past month and then the first half of August are really important, because that's when the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative member owners have an opportunity to participate in the proxy designation process. So in the beginning of July, all of the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative member owners received their proxy. So we sent the proxy to them as a direct mail, and we also have given our member owners the opportunity to participate in the proxy designation process online. So we've provided multiple ways for members to be able to participate in the director election, even if they're not able to join us on August 19th for the live event. They can still complete this part of the process and participate in the meeting.
Casey, I know we're recording this over Zoom as a podcast, but I muted myself for a second so I could jump up and run and get my proxy designation form. So I have mine already as a member owner.
Good. I'm glad that you received it. In the past, we have provided the proxy designation form to our members through our Cooperative Living magazine. And this year we made the decision to send it out to our member owners a little bit differently. And we were unsure of whether you were more familiar with having received it through the magazine, but it seems like everybody has gotten it and has paid attention to it and is taking part as a member owner in completing their form, whether they complete it by paper or they complete the online web forms that we have available. And so we're really happy that our members are staying engaged with their cooperative.
Can you run through the dates for me again? When is the annual meeting and what are the deadlines to be able to get your votes in?
Sure. So I'm going to start with the deadlines. And the reason for that is because there's really two different things that happen. And the first deadline that everybody needs to be aware of, August 12th, proxy designation deadline. So for everyone who received their proxy designation form by mail or chooses to participate by designating their proxy online, that has to be done by August 12th at 5 p.m. The annual meeting will take place on August 19th at 7 p.m. And in order to participate, any member owner or proxy that has been designated has to register. Registration will open at 7 a.m. on August 13th, and then it closes on August 14th at 5 p.m. So only registered members are going to receive the instructions on how to join the remote annual meeting, as well as the instructions to be able to cast their vote live during the annual meeting itself. So we've created an option for members as well to be able to register. So they can either call 1-800-552-3904, or they can register online. And there will be a registration form that becomes available to them on August 13th at 7 a.m. And it's a really easy online form that they'll fill out, and it'll give them an opportunity as well to enter the questions that they might want to ask at the annual meeting. And so we encourage everybody to participate using one of those methods, whether it's designating your proxy or participating in the meeting when it takes place on August 19th.
And there are cool prizes if you get your stuff in ahead of time, right?
Yes. So prizes are always something that motivates people. And so every year that we've had an annual meeting, we have always awarded prizes to members for their participation. So this year is no different. This year we had a series of prizes. The next opportunity to get a prize would be by returning the proxy by August 1st. Anybody that returns their proxy by August 1st will be entered to win one of 15 $100 cash prizes. And then the next deadline would be August 10th. So designate and return your proxy designation form by August 10th, and you'll be entered to win one of 10 $50 cash prizes. Then at the annual meeting on August 19th, we'll also award one prize of $100, prize of $50, and then a $25 grocery gift card and a $25 gas gift card. But I want to emphasize that all members are only eligible to win one prize. So if you win one of the prizes from the earlier deadlines, you won't be eligible to win one of the future prizes. And we do that so that everybody has an opportunity. And I wanted to just add that on the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative website, which is www.myrec.coop, we do have all of that information available for anyone to access. So before you make your decision, please consider checking out the website so that you can see who the candidates are. You can read their bios. We even have a video from each of the candidates. And then included in that proxy that you received by mail is the same information. So take some time and look at that and get to know the candidates in this year's election.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with Casey Hollins, although we're going to change the topic a little bit, and we're going to talk about payment options that Rappahannock Electric Cooperative offers to their member owners. They have suspended their disconnection for non-payment, and they are working with their member owners however they can to make sure that they don't fall so far behind that it is just too incredibly overwhelming for them to be able to get caught back up when we get to the other side of this COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Janet Michael. You're listening to the Valley Today, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Do you know anyone who is struggling with financial hardships because of coronavirus? Our new webinar called Coping with the Money Crunch can help. We'll talk about immediate options to consider, revising or creating a spending plan, and lots of community resources. Then we'll cover how to narrow your priorities, contact creditors, and avoid scams and risky loans. The webinar is free, and you can either join by phone or through Zoom on a smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can find out more by visiting the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program on Facebook or calling Karen Poff at 540-635-4549. Let me show you how to make your own plan or help someone you care about get through the crisis. Call 635-4549 or visit at NSV Financial Education on Facebook today.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. In the first segment of today's show, I played for you a conversation that I had with Casey Hollins. Yesterday, we were recording several of their podcast episodes for Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. We got all the details for their annual meeting that's coming up in August. It is going to be a virtual annual meeting this year. But right now, we're going to play a conversation for you about the payment options that Rappahannock Electric Cooperative offers to their member owners. They have suspended disconnections due to non-payment. However, at some point, that bill is going to be due, and they're trying their best to work out payment options. There are several different ways that you can get ahead of your electric bill, even if you are behind, and Casey's going to share those with me now. Casey, I know that one of the topics that has been a hot topic in the middle of this pandemic are disconnections and how people are making their budgets stretch to probably the tiniest little degree that they possibly can. And today you have some options for all of the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative member owners on payment options.
Yes, and thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to talk about this information. The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly created a series of enormous hardships for a lot of members, our neighbors, our families. And so we want to just talk a little bit about what REC is doing to help in this very tragic and difficult time that we're all dealing with. So one of the things that I wanted to let everybody know is that Rappahannock Electric Cooperative is proactively reaching out to its member owners to help them establish payment plans. And those payment plans are being set up to extend up to a year. And we're doing that because we really want to help our member owners avoid falling so far behind that it will become an overwhelming hurdle for them to try to catch back up. And so, we reach out to our member owners and we offer that option to them, or our member owners can reach out to us and talk about the option as well. Anybody that wants to set up a payment arrangement can also do that themselves. So we give them the opportunity to use our automated phone system. So if they call into the cooperative, they can choose the automated option that allows them to set up a payment arrangement. Or for member owners who utilize My REC Smart Hub, they can go into their My REC Smart Hub account and they can set up a payment arrangement there as well. But, our goal, as I said, is really just to help our member owner to avoid falling so far behind that they will have even more of a difficult time trying to catch back up. And like you said, we have suspended disconnections. All utilities have. There's a governor's order that prohibits you from disconnecting during this time. And certainly, regardless of that order, that's not something that we would have wanted to do to our members anyway. We care about our members. We care about the issues that they're facing. So we would not have created an additional challenge for them to try to overcome. So the reason that we want to talk about these payment options is just so that people are more aware of the options that are available to them, so that you don't feel like you have an option of either paying or not paying. So we want to make sure that that we're here for you and we want to help.
Well, and I want to make sure that I at least point out too, Casey, that we had conversations through the podcast series in early March and late February, I believe. And Rappahannock Electric Cooperative had already made the decision that you were not going to be doing disconnections based on non-payment even before the governor's order. So I just want to make sure people understand that you guys were kind of ahead of the game on that particular issue.
Yeah, well, thanks for reminding people of that, Janet. Yeah, and we really do care about our member owners. We're your local electric cooperative. We're your neighbors, and so, like I said, we wouldn't want to do something that would create an additional hardship for somebody during this time.
Do you guys still offer budget billing for somebody who maybe has been able to manage so far, but as we all have learned, we never know what next week or next month is going to bring?
We do still offer budget billing so that you really know what to expect your bill to be. You can't choose what that amount will be that you'll pay on a monthly basis. The way it works is it works as an average of your previous electric use. And so the amount is determined and shared with you so that when you're making the decision to enroll in budget billing or not, you'll know what that budget billing amount will be that you'll receive your monthly bill. So that's a great option for somebody who wants more consistency every month in the amount that they're going to pay. And signing up for budget billing is pretty simple. The easiest way is just to give us a call at our 1-800 number, 1-800-552-3904. Even though we have closed the front lobbies, we still have member service representatives available to assist any of our member owners by phone or through the web chat feature on our website. And so reach out to us and let us know if you want budget billing. The amount that you are assigned for your budget billing monthly payment, it is periodically adjusted during the year, and it's adjusted based on your energy use. So we communicate with you through your electric bill to let you know if there's going to be any change. And those changes typically occur in the spring and then again later in the fall.
And that's good to know too, because I know we've done podcast series talking about smart thermostats. So if I get a smart thermostat and suddenly am using less energy, my budget billing could go down because my overall energy usage has gone down.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it's just really good to know that you won't have to wonder how much you're going to spend next month on your electric bill. It really helps you to maintain not just your energy budget, but your family budget in general.
Are there other things that I should be considering when it comes to paying my electric bill?
Yes, another option that I want to make sure our members are aware we offer would be prepay. And prepay, exactly what it sounds like. It's the option to pay for your electricity without receiving a monthly bill. So we set up members on a prepay account, and the prepay balance is calculated every day. And members can choose when and how frequently they want to make a prepayment every day, a prepayment every week, and a prepayment every month if they want to. And then they just have to manage the amount of money they have added to their prepay account based on how much energy they use. We make it really easy for people to be able to do this through the MyREC Smart Hub account. And so they can go online and they can look at their hourly energy use, they can look at their daily energy use, and it helps them be aware prior to us sending them notifications about the amount available in their prepaid balance. But it helps them to be more aware of how much energy they're using and the effect that that energy use is going to have on the amount that they pay. It also is a good option for someone who may not receive a regular income. So if it's difficult for you to pay your electric bill on a monthly basis and it would be more convenient for you to pay every week, then this is a good option for you to be able to do that.
Yeah, I could see where that would really come in handy, especially for people who are seasonal workers. They may want to prepay ahead of time in the season that they're working, and then when they're not working for a month or two at a time, they would be okay because they've paid ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. And this really helps people to make smart decisions and just become more aware. You know, if you never before paid attention to the fact that maybe you had lights on in the house that didn't need to be on because you weren't in the room, then you might start to notice those types of actions that you take and turn lights off when you leave the room because you want to reduce your energy use as much as possible so that you can have more control over how much you spend.
That might be a really cool experiment for so many parents that have kids at home right now, is to switch over to prepay for a couple of days and tell the teenagers if they're going to start using all of the stuff in the house, they're going to have to start paying for the energy and the electricity that they're using.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. That would certainly give them a real life lesson on financial management. That's a great idea.
Do you still offer the ability for someone to do a gift certificate? So let's say I'm in a position where I'm okay with my electric bill and I'm okay with my bills, but I know that a friend or a family member is really struggling. Am I able to call Rappahannock Electric and say, I want to give $100 towards so-and-so's electric bill? Does it work that way?
Yes, we have a gift of electricity program, and that program prior to this pandemic is something that people traditionally participated in, usually around the holidays when they were trying to gift someone in a unique and special way. But we certainly have tried to make members more aware during this time that that's a great way to help someone in need. And so it's pretty simple, and we have information about it on our website. But again, you just contact us or go online and get the gift of electricity form. It is a PDF form, and you'll have to send it to us with the amount that you want to contribute to someone else's bill. The recipient will be credited for whatever the amount you have gifted to them will be, and you'll receive confirmation. They'll also receive a letter letting them know that someone has made a donation to their account. And what's also great about it is that you can choose to do that anonymously or not. You can decide if you want to let the person know or if you want to keep it anonymous. So we highly encourage anybody who is in a good financial position to help someone during these challenging times.
Casey, if I want to pay, are there ways that I can do it that are contactless or touch-free, so to speak?
Absolutely. The easiest way for anybody to make a payment to their REC electric bill would be through my REC Smart Hub. And that's our online electric account tool. That's a free tool for all of our member owners. If you've never used it before, it's really easy to create your account online. Just go to myrec.smarthub.coop and make sure that you have your electric bill or your REC account number handy, because you will need that to create an account for the first time. But once you have created your account, you can use the tool to make one-time payments, to set up auto payments, and to access a lot of other really useful information about your electric account. The other option, and this is really convenient, we have 4 local offices, and you'd be surprised that we have a lot of members who visit our local offices every month to pay their electric bill. And I've said before when we've talked that we know that one option doesn't fit everybody's needs. And so that's why we have so many. And since we have closed our front counters and our front lobbies because of the pandemic, we want people to know that we still have our payment kiosks, which are at each of our local offices. And anybody who would like to go to the kiosk and make a payment is able to do so. You can use cash, check, or credit card to make your payment at the kiosk. And it's pretty simple. You just follow the instructions on the screen, but those are available 24/7. So if you need to make the payment in person, that option's available to you. But again, the easiest way would be my REC Smart Hub. So if you're not using that free online tool, now is a great time to try it out.
I absolutely love my REC Smart Hub. It sends me a notification when my bill is ready. I just click on the notification, I go in, I pay, and then while I'm there, of course, I nose around at my energy usage. And I know we've done podcasts on Smart Hub, and it's one of my favorite apps.
Oh, good. Yeah. I forgot to mention that it's a mobile app. So, how convenient is that to have all of your electric account information right at your fingertips? And I know a lot of people don't think about their electricity until the power goes out, but this tool really provides you information that is beneficial for you to be able to manage your account, but also information about your energy use so that you can make decisions about how you're using electricity and identify ways to save. So I'm glad you mentioned the app because it's a great resource.
Well, Casey, thank you for giving me so many payment options to make sure that I am staying ahead of the curve when it comes to keeping the lights on.
Oh, you're welcome. And, I just wanted to end it by saying that, we're not pressuring anybody to make a payment. We certainly understand the hard times that so many people are facing because of the pandemic. But we just want people to be aware. And if you can pay anything on your electric bill to avoid making it so difficult for you to catch up, then, we're here to help you figure out how to set up that payment arrangement. Your electric cooperative is your your energy expert, your local connection. And so don't hesitate to reach out to us and talk to us about what challenges you might be facing so that we can help you find a solution.
Well, that's it for me today on the Valley today. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I think we're going to get a teeny tiny little break in the heat wave. So I hope whatever you choose to do, that you get out and you enjoy yourself. On Monday, join me back here a few minutes after noon for a conversation with Mitch Moore. He is a senior vice president and chair of the reopening committee for Shenandoah University. So he's going to fill me in on how the Shenandoah University campus is going to look when they reconvene again in mid to late August. So meet me back here a few minutes after noon on Monday, and I will have that show ready to go for you.